beloved friends. In these times of awakening, you are not broken, you are activating.
Greetings, beloved friends. My name is Paula, and my crystal is my dragon's name, Crystal Blue, and my pen name is P.B. Moreland. I am the author of 4 books in the Whitebird series. Of course, the description is on my channel page if you would like more information about my books. But I thought I would just make a video today about an experience that I just had with a very, very dear friend who I've known most, if not, well, for certain, all my adult life, and I met in high school. And the reason I'm sharing this with you today is because I just felt compelled, as I was reminded in our conversation, how important it is for us just to know that our inner space, our soul, is right there waiting to talk to us. We just need to say hello. So this is how our conversation evolved, my friend and I, where I encouraged her to find her own companion, to talk with her guides, her own dragon, as I truly believe everybody has their own dragon, who are her divine companions. And just as I have with mine, I have conversations. And it reminded me of something I think we all forget sometimes. So this video is an invitation to return to your sacred space, to listen, to remember, and to know that you are never alone. So welcome to Crystal Tales and Dragon Scale. This is the name of my video channel, my YouTube channel, because I often share tales of my character Crystal Blue, who is the protagonist in my books, and also the name of my dragon. And this is a channel where I share deep memories of my soul in different human form, whether it's on this planet or maybe another dimension. I know that I visit in my dreams. And so Crystal Tales and Dragon Scales is the name I chose. And I think this is the first time I have mentioned it in my videos, which is surprising to me. But I was reminded by a beautiful soul companion of mine to mention this in my videos. So I would like to share with you a brief recap, let's say, of this wonderful heart-to-heart conversation I had with my dear friend. Soul-to-soul conversation. I shared with her how lately I am becoming closer and closer to my soul, who is, as everyone knows, probably not everyone, everyone should know that their soul is just ready and waiting for an invitation. For you just to say, hello, I know you're there. Is there anything you'd like to share with me today? And it will give you an opportunity to deeply listen. I've probably mentioned this in other videos, but because I just had this heart-to-heart with my girlfriend, not in a way of telling her she should do this or that, but inviting her into the knowing that she doesn't need to have another person's influence. She doesn't need to go to a reader or a fortune teller. In the old days, we did that, or the tarot card reader. Or not that she said that she wanted to, because she never mentioned that. But our inner selves, our soul, our guides, our dragons are right there in the stillness, as I mentioned in my video from a few days ago. And as I had this conversation with my dear friend, to remind her that she has her own voice, she has her own inner guides, she can trust that inner voice and not worry about the choices that she's making, because you can't make the wrong choice. Every choice you make is going to be the correct choice, especially if you're doing it from a place of positive intention, meaning harmlessness, open and compassion. Many people are questioning themselves, doubting themselves, and that's a human trait that is no longer needed in these times. Divine guidance of your own. You don't need to ask an outside source for what should I do next? Should I do this or should I do that? Yes or no? Please tell me. Go within. Your guides are right there, ready to help you out. And so our conversation reminded me of my own awakening when I first met a beautiful teacher, an ascended master channeled through a particular individual. These are in the beginnings of the end of the last millennium. And I really had many, many dark days. I've mentioned this before. And this particular ascended master channeled through an individual was like a gentle balm to my soul. And I learned quite a lot about the cosmos and the universe and humanity. And it helped me because it seemed that every time I was in this master's energy, I felt heard. I felt loved and embraced, even though it wasn't a face-to-face meeting. It was through the written word. It was when the internet was just newly formed in the early 90s. I would wait patiently until the script was released from the person-to-person meeting, which was from in a different state, but I couldn't always be there. And then it evolved into an audio version of that meeting, and then it evolved into the video version, and it's live. And so I still hold to that monthly gathering of individuals. And there have been a handful of these types of masters who I have sat at the feet of as I was awakening to the beauty of all that is. And when I met my dragon very short time ago, I've always felt that dragon energy. The dragon energy never, as I've said, never made me feel like the dragons were to be feared. I never felt that when anyone mentioned the dragons. Even in movies, I shied away from movies that portrayed the dragons as cruel. I didn't like the movies where they slayed the dragon. It made me uncomfortable. Interestingly enough, it reminds me of the first time I watched the movie Shrek. I was enamored. The moment the music started playing, this is an animated feature, but I was swept away with the beauty of it. And when I met the dragon in the keep, who was guarding Fiona, the princess, I fell in love with her immediately, and I cried when she was left behind. And I thought, oh, this is so unusual that I'm crying over an animated dragon who was left behind. And then when she came back, she and Donkey had that relationship and they flew together through the clouds. My heart and my soul just was so happy. Just soared. My soul soared with the dragon and the donkey and Shrek in that animated movie when they soared through the clouds. I know the music very well. In fact, I just rewatched that movie a few days ago. So when I met my dragon, I released my dragon from the chains when she was in a different realm, but in the present moment, still chained and tortured in the mountain. And I released her. And I released her, and I felt the movement in my spine. And I had a pretty drastic physical response to this encounter that I don't share with many because it's very special and sacred. But because of that physical reaction that I felt when I felt her wings unfolding and her body released when she flew out of that mountain, no longer chained, when I met her and how she, what's the word, appreciated that release, I would wish that upon everyone, that they could have the relationship with their dragons and their guides. I still listen to the Ascended Master, who I referred to a few minutes ago, but I do not sit at his feet. We sit side by side. I still feel his wisdom, and I resonate with the words, and it brings me companionship because I do have a solitary path that I walk. I've chosen this and it's appropriate. So I seek out these like-minded souls and individuals who are always wise and bring me joy. And I also know how to bring my soul's voice to a place where I can hear the words, not in a physical sense, but in a knowing sense. And so this sacred space that I hold with my soul and my dragon and my guides that I shared with my friend for the very first time just a few hours ago, it doesn't always have to come in meditation or silence. It's any moment I choose to listen deeply. It's my choice. And so I offer you the opportunity that you don't need to wait to be worthy. It's not something you need to wait for. If you sometimes don't feel worthy enough to hear your soul's voice, you are worthy because you are alive and you've chosen to stay here in this energy where the frequencies are quite chaotic. You're not broken, as it says in the intro. You're activating, and you're remembering. And so when I remember how grand I am, I don't need that proof that I've always searched for. I need a reflection that I get out of my daily life when I listen to my soul song. It's just a presence. It's not proof. Your inner companions have always been with you. They are right there with you. They're just waiting for that invitation. And so I invite you to invite your inner companions to be with you in your own quiet presence, whether it be dragon, angel, warrior, or all of them. They're your ancestors, your aspects, those that those parts of your soul, because our soul was fragmented when creation began. That's another story in itself, the fragmentation of the soul, the many faces. And they're coming back online in this timeline. There are multiple timelines. Your choices are going to put you on particular timelines. So if you operate with compassion, patience, tolerance, authenticity, if you are angry, be angry, as I've said in other videos. Don't deny your emotions. That's what makes us human, this emotional blue planet of ours. But if you take it too far by reacting in a situation and harming either yourself or another, that will lower your vibration. And it's really important right now to raise a vibrational frequency, to continue on a timeline of positivity, of love and compassion, where your vibration is going to mesh with like-minded souls. It's probably why you were drawn to this channel. As I grow this channel, I invite you to subscribe, to like, to share, and please leave a comment. I will ask you a question right now. Do you remember when you had that first spark of remembering that you are truly divine? Do you remember an encounter with either a stranger or a wise master? Do you remember a soul-to-soul conversation that you had with a friend, where they might have invited you to open yourself up to the voice of your soul? My mother was instrumental in the mid-80s. She knew there was a mysterious quality about me. I was always into the occult. I'm a Scorpio. I'm drawn to the mysteries of life. I didn't practice any of the occult practices because they didn't resonate with my frequency, but I was curious about them. ESP, even when I was a young teenager, my girlfriend and I would always try to read each other's minds and move things with our mind. And I was always right there, right at the cusp. And my mother recognized this, and she invited me to one of the workshops that I've referred to in the mystery schools in the 80s, where I went down to this weekend seminar and just fell completely and totally in love with music of Kitaro, with the incense that burned in the bookshops, where I first heard the name of Cryon, of magnetic service. And on it goes. And I was introduced to star beings and angelic beings and Atlantis. I wasn't truly awakened, but the memories were returning, the remembering. I had no faith in myself really in those days, but I stayed. I didn't leave. I stuck around. I still have a beautiful team of guides and companions and masters, my dragon, with me at all times because of my past, where I was tempted to leave this planet, often because of its heavy energies. I'm extremely sensitive. I read frequencies. I'm an earth whisperer. I know when someone walks in a room what kind of day they're having. And so that takes its toll. And in other lifetimes, I left before I really was through. I couldn't take it. It hurt. My heart was hurt. When I healed the dragon within, when I released this dragon from the mountain in a quiet meditation I created for myself, I healed a scar in my heart. That scar I carried through lifetimes prior to this one. And I did not stay on the planet. I could not bear it. It was too hard. So in this lifetime, I carried in that scar. It was from the origin of my soul. It's healed. And many times I wished to just disappear. I don't know if you've ever felt like that, where you just want to, it's not like you want to do the act of taking your life, because that's dramatic and it would hurt many that you love, but you just want to be gone and free of the pain of the heavy energies. Let me know if you felt like that. You can just say yes or no. And it's getting easier, as I've mentioned in another video, especially if you sit down and have tea with your dragon in the morning. Use your imagination. It's one of our greatest human gifts, is our imagination and our ability to manifest and to create. I do have notes on my phone. That's why I do look down. I try to have these notes that I refer to, so excuse me for looking away, but that's what I'm choosing to look at the moment. I have these thoughts and I just put them down to refer to, because these times together are very sacred and important. And if a thought has arisen before I've started the video, I want to make sure I mention that. But what I really wanted to remind you today, again, was you don't need to, you are worthy to invite your soul to speak. Just need to say hello. You are worthy for your body to communicate with you directly, to help you understand what it is maybe that you should be consuming, both energetic and food-wise, to lighten the density of your bodies. You can invite your dragon in. What kind of dragon is it? Is it an earth, air, fire, water, ice? There are dozens of dragons, and most of them are massive. Some are very small and playful, like my little blue dragon here. Boop, boop, boop. You are worthy of all this, and it's found in your stillness. If you feel compelled to go to someone to help reflect your feelings, that's your choice, of course. Nobody could ever tell you not to. But it is time in our evolution to be your own lighthouse, to resonate with your frequency to the point where you, the last few days, I have felt so depleted in energy. And I know it's because of the sun. I work outside. And in the last few days, when I'm out in the sunshine, I feel very drained of energy. It's as though the sun is just draining me. And I reflected on that, and I asked my guides to help me understand if this was indeed the case. And I got a very affirmative or a loud, yes, this is the case. Because it's been the opposite of how I've operated my whole entire life. I've been drawn to the outside. But what's going on now with the solar activity and the light codes and the plasma beings that are coming into our planet in huge, massive waves, because I'm aware and I'm awake, I allow it. I do not deny this change. It's my body recalibrating. Every soul of my being is being recalibrated. And the sun is changing. Its frequency, its energies, it's intensifying. It's not harming, but my body feels it. And because I'm aware of it, I take action and I listen to my body. And I stop what I'm doing and I go inside, go home into my cathedral, my beautiful, beautiful home, which sits on a land that Gaia called me back to. And I rest. And I do not deny it. And my body appreciates this. And my soul appreciates this. And there is a reason. Doesn't mean that I am failing at anything or that I am in the wrong place at that time. It's appropriate, and I have asked for help on how I can continue my being outside, and I was offered ways of putting a light cocoon around me. Golden light cocoon doesn't keep energies out or in, but it stabilizes how my body receives the energy from the sun. To take off my gloves and to put my hands deep into the soil and help my body adjust and let the earth know I need to be grounded, and on and on. And I got some more suggestions that I will use because summer has just started and our bodies are recalibrating. So if you're tired, if you're fatigued, do not deny that what your body needs. This is intense. As one of the videos was titled, "The energies are intensifying, but it will get easier." And if you know this and you honor that, you honor the rest and the stillness, and you sit down and you make yourself a beautiful cup of tea or coffee, and you invite your dragon in, and you understand the beauty of the presence of the dragon. I wrote something down here. I'm just going to look for it quite quickly. When you have a chat with your dragon, it's your soul, oftentimes. And you can create your sacred space. It's your intention. Your words are almost a bridge between the sacred space and your creation, your manifestation. I don't use, what's the word? I don't even remember the word. Affirmations. I've moved out of that because I do not need to control what happens. But the bridge between invitation and manifestation is just setting the intention and allowing your soul to work through you, for your dragon to work through you, because they are your master self. It's different from your soul. To work through you. Our human bodies, our souls and our master selves, our dragons, are experiencing Earth and this time of awakening through us, through me. And so I sit back and I'm doing the best I can. I need to allow myself to enjoy this, to laugh more, to sing, to dance, to shine. I can be serious. I can try to just keep a lid on it sometimes too much. And my soul is encouraging me with creating these videos, is just to allow myself to enjoy life. And that is what I intend to do. And I hope I'm mirroring the light that you shine. I can be that reflection. I can help you understand, as I did with my dear friend today, that she has all the answers. She does never need to look outside herself. She just needs to say hello to her soul and to listen in those deep, quiet moments. To sit down and have a chat with your dragon or your soul or your master self, your inner child. You could go out to a playground and swing. Invite your child to come along. Go to an ice cream shop. Have an ice cream cone. Let your inner child enjoy it with you. There's no greater sacred space than to bring your inner child with you. Everywhere you go. I put mine on my shoulders often if I remember. Sometimes I forget. That's okay. No problem there. So, in these beautiful, beautiful times of awakening and intense energies, don't forget you are very special. You are grand beings, having taken on a human form. You can talk with your soul. Greet your soul every morning. Say goodnight to your soul every evening. Let's ring the bell for those children, those grand masters clothed, wearing the cloak of childhood, who are some are still in those dark spaces. We must never forget them, but we honor them for their sacrifice and their grandness. The bell is for them in love and compassion and undeniable service. And with that, know that I am here in between the times. I think of you often. I love you dearly. Blessings to you. Namaste.